What's going on, Bears fans? What is going on today? I hope everyone had a great weekend. And let me tell you something, Bears fans. The NFL Combine is doing the Lord's work. Because let me tell you something. Saturday, between the running backs, quarterbacks, and the wide receivers, we seen some most dynamic player prospects the NFL probably has seen in a very long time. Now in this one, we're going to look at the running backs and the quarterbacks. Because why? The wide receivers were definitely the stars of Saturday, and they are going to get their own video. Now I want to say thank you for coming back to BearsMediaCo, because right now we are cooking with grease, and those guys who were at the Combine and who actually participated, quite a few guys made some money. So let's go. Let's talk about it right now. Starting off, we're going to talk about Trey Benson, arguably the first running back that's probably going to come off the board first. He looked dynamic in his drills. Very smooth pass catcher, leg work, footwork looked great. And for a 6 foot, 216 pounder, I can just say he would be a great option for our Chicago Bears. Now, as you know, we don't have a second round pick just yet, but Trey Benson, hey, he is a guy that would slot in perfectly to come in, get some reps right behind Rowe, and I tell you, he can do the things, ladies and gentlemen. He can do the things. Now, Khalil Herbert, in next year, he will be entering the last year of his contract, and I can say this, if we get Trey Benson, he ain't got to worry about being a Chicago Bear for much longer. That is for fact. Now, Roschon Johnson, a 6'1", 222-pound back for us, he is the future. He is the future. But Trey Benson, he will definitely get some reps if the Bears were able to get him, and will be a perfect number 2 option. Great pass blocker and pass catcher. And one thing that the NFL is going to, throwing the football more. And the Chicago Bears, you know, we run the ball very well, but the passing game hasn't exactly caught up to that. But you still need to be able to run the football in the NFL, especially when you're outdoors. You got to be able to pound the rock, and Trey Benson is my number 1 guy. And look, at 217 pounds or so, Bears fans, how does he run a 4.39? How? And look, that was the theme for Saturday. Running fast by running backs as well as the wide receivers. And of course, the running backs were up first, and they dazzled. But then, to finish off the day, the wide receivers came in, and let me tell you something, they set records. They looked blazing, and in the drills, they got some wide receivers. I'm going to say this now. I know I'm not going to cover them in this video, but there's probably at least 10 wide receivers who could go first and early second round. I'm just telling you right now. But listen, Trey Benson, he is my favorite to be a Chicago Bear running back. And that 1-5-2 split means that in the short area, he is going to be fast. So all we got to do, once again, improve our offensive line. And let me tell you, he is going to look very good as a Chicago Bear. Now, Bears fans, this next guy probably will be a late 4th, 5th rounder, but he is getting drafted. And with such a class of running backs, that's probably saying something. And now you guys probably haven't seen a whole lot of him, but from the Senior Bowl to the Combine, he has made a name for himself. And out of the USC, this guy, Marshawn Lloyd, he definitely earned some high grades from scouts. Now at 5'9", 220, he is a bigger back, but he can tote the ball and he can catch the ball. He is a very solid football player and running back, of course. But a 4.46 40 with a 1.56 10-yard split, that's pretty darn good. That's pretty good there, Bears fans. Now, granted, he is more similar to Khalil Herbert than Trey Benson is, definitely, height, weight-wise or whatnot. But, well, he's a little bit better, a little bit heavier than Khalil Herbert at 220, and I believe Khalil Herbert is right in that 212, 214 range, something like that. But I'm telling you, he is Khalil Herbert. He's Khalil Herbert, plain and simple. Will he be as good as Khalil Herbert? Because I would say Khalil Herbert definitely has been very good for our Chicago Bears and hasn't cost us as much as of yet. Now, like I say, he's got one more year on his rookie deal. So would it be worth it to keep that veteran presence running back or find a replacement for him now? I mean, as you know, we drafted Roschon last year. So, and of course, Dante Foreman, he is not under contract currently. Now, you know me, Bears fans. I dig the bigger backs. That's why I love Dante Foreman and Roschon Johnson. I thought those two together would be a dynamic duo and push Khalil Herbert out. But Khalil Herbert surprised me. He had a lot of good games before he was injured. And when he came back from injury, hey, he didn't even skip a beat. Now, Dante Foreman, he had some good games, but of course, toward the end of the season, healthy, no scratches. So I'm not sure what all that was about, but hey, Marshawn Lloyd, he is a good option for our Chicago Bears later on in the draft. And I can definitely see the Bears going after him. But I got one more for you. I'm going to talk to him about him right after this. Reggie B, run the promo, please.
Hello, fellow Bears superfans. While we wait for success on the field, we can show our pride off the field with official Chicago Bears gear from Fanatics. Fanatics has everything to reflect your passion. Jerseys, hats, shirts, collectibles, and more. Rep your Bears fandom in style while supporting us here at BearsMediaCo. Show your Bear spirit by clicking our affiliate link in the description or on our website and buying something nice at fanatics.com today.
Now, Bears fans, this last guy, well, not the last, because I got one more after this. I got to say something. But this one from the Louisville Cardinals, Isaac Guerendo. Now, Guerendo, let's just say it like it is. He showed out at the combine. At 6 foot, 221 pounds, this guy was blazing, okay? A 4.33 40. 4.33. Ladies and gentlemen, at 221 pounds, that's astounding. That is astounding. And with that 1.55 split, hey, if he don't get drafted, and we know how Ryan Poles loves his value when it comes to undrafted free agents, like he did last year with Tyson Bagent, I think this guy, Isaac Guerendo, he can be the Tyson Bagent of the running back that we could get. I love this kid. After watching a little bit of tape on him, he definitely displays that Matt Forte to me. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying that, but he definitely looks Matt Forte-ish. And I mean, great runner, great route runner, and pass catching, and can even block, something that Khalil has struggled with. But this guy, with the size he has, hey, he can block with the best of them. And Isaac Guerendo, you, sir, should be a Chicago Bear. And I would love for him to be on our team. Like I say, played at Louisville in the ACC, so name probably not as known like a Trey Benson and a Marshawn Lloyd, but a good running back option nonetheless. And we all know, as I said, Ryan Poles loves value. And if you can get a Matt Forte / Roschon Johnson guy who could catch out of the backfield, pass block, run the rock, he is the one. He's the one. I'm not sure why he hasn't gotten more fanfare than what he has, but hey, at the combine, he definitely stamped his way to somebody's big board. Guarantee it. And I hope the Chicago Bears is that team. All right, Bears fans. This guy right here is probably, no, he's not probably, he is the biggest disappointment for the running back group that went at the combine. At the University of Washington, he was a great runner. Not much of a pass catcher because they had some great pass catchers already there in the wide receiver group. But I thought he would perform better at the combine because he looked pretty darn good in games. But Dylan Johnson, he just didn't do it at the combine, ladies and gentlemen. At 6 foot, 17 pounds, very similar to Trey Benson, did not look very good in the drills. He did not. A little stiff. Definitely someone who has one role. Well, I'd say take that back. 2 roles. Special teams or a third down back. And I can't see much more beyond that. And that's a little disappointing because like I said, I figured he would look much better in the drills. But rushing for a 4.68 40, that is not good. Matter of fact, it's kind of below average. I'll just say that, below average. A 1.62 10-yard split, it's about average. But the vertical jump and the broad jump, not very good at all. I mean, like I say, Bears fans, he looked very good in games. So maybe he's not, a test ace like some guys are, but just expected a little bit more from him. Just a little bit more. So Dylan Johnson, I'm a little disappointed in you, but hopefully you get your chance in the NFL some way, somehow. But good luck to you, sir. All right, Bears fans, it's time to get into these quarterbacks. And first off, I just want to say, with the top 3 guys not participating in drills, hey, hopefully someone would stand out in the quarterbacks that they had at the combine. And 2 guys stood out right away. And that was Caden Slovis as well as Austin Reed. Now, these 2 guys came to the combine and, well, they kind of bombed. I gotta say it. They kind of bombed. In the drills, they were sailing passes all over the place. Not very accurate. And, well, let's just say, and of course, now let me give you this. These guys have not practiced with the wide receivers that were there. So, obviously, without that connection of working together and getting the timing together, it was not an ideal situation for the quarterbacks. But you still had to get out there and do your thing. But Caden Slovis, as well as Mr. Reed, Austin Reed, they just didn't look good. Those guys are projects definitely at the next level. But 3 guys that definitely looked pretty good. Well, 1 guy looked decent and 2 guys looked very good. The decent quarterback, Bo Nix. Now, Bo Nix, hey, the guy has got an arm. But in the drills, he was very spotty with the long ball. He was either overthrowing or underthrowing the wide receivers. And like I said, he did not have a whole lot of time with the wide receiver, so that could be chalked up to that. The timing is everything between quarterback, wide receiver. And he, well, hit on some, not very good on the deep ball. But hey, that's neither here and there, especially when you got a guy who completed over 70% of his passes this past year and threw over 4,000 yards. So there's something to be said about, working together with your guys. So take this with a little bit of grain of salt with these comparisons, and I should say comparisons with these reviews of these quarterbacks. But nonetheless, these guys have to show something in the drills. And Bo Nix did not really, show a whole lot. Now, short and medium, he definitely has it. When the out routes going toward the sidelines, he looked good. So there's that. I got to say it. But the long ball, not a whole lot. But the two guys that stood out to me were definitely prepared. And first up, Spencer Rattler. Now look, throughout the combine, they're poking fun at Patrick Mahomes because of his 4.8 40. Let me tell you this, at 6 foot 211, Spencer Rattler ran a 4.95. That's a 4, a 9, and a 5. 4.95 40 for a dude that is about 10, 15 pounds lighter than Patrick Mahomes. I don't know. We need to get him some kind of training somehow. It was just funny to see. But when it came time to throwing the football, my eyes were open. This guy has definitely got an arm on him. Whether it be the short pass, intermediate, or the long ball, Spencer Rattler, he got it. Now, as I've said before, this guy, well, I should say the quarterbacks and the receivers have not played together, so all this was new. But Spencer Rattler, he was getting the ball out with pop and hitting receivers all over the field. So Spencer Rattler, 6 foot quarterback, I don't know, but got some decent sized hands on him, so maybe that's why he's able to get that pop off in his throws. So we shall see. Now I know it's been talked about he might be a late 3rd, 4th rounder, but I would give him a solid 3rd round grade because of the way the ball was coming off his hands. Looked pretty darn good to me. So Spencer Rattler, he definitely earned a right to have his name called on the 2nd or 3rd day of the NFL draft. Now, Michael Penix from the University of Washington. We all know he can slang the ball with the best of them. His arm strength is unbelievable. Watching the drills on him, he looked good, ladies and gentlemen. Especially, I'll get to that in a second, but he did all the throws. I'll just say that. His deep ball was definitely something to see. And when I say his passes were crisp, man, from a left-hander, he definitely did himself a favor by participating in the drills. Now, he didn't run a 40, but doesn't really have to. At 6'2", 216 pounds with 10.5-inch hands, hey, he's like he's got that prototypical NFL QB stature about him. Now, as I said, he can make all the throws, but especially those throws toward the sideline, wow. Bears fans, regardless of the weather, because he did play outside up there with the Huskies, he definitely has the pop in his intermediate throws. So there's an option there for the Bears. I'm going to say it. There is an option right there for the Chicago Bears. Now, he's possibly a middle to late 2nd rounder. I just think he would best be served. If he played in the Dome, we would be singing his praises for a very long time if he gets drafted by a team with a Dome. I mean, the power that he has in his passes are definitely on point. But more importantly, on his deep passes, oh my goodness. He puts it where the wide receivers can win every rep. I mean, he has that touch. He has the touch that I'm sure most NFL teams will be looking for. As I said, he can make all the throws. Now, granted, he had, some medical issues early on in his college career, but last year, as we've seen, it didn't matter. He looked great on the field, and he got a clear pass for all his medicals. So that should be something that shouldn't factor in his drafting. But we shall see, Bears fans. So look, before I go, I'm going to say this. Probably my most disappointing quarterback during the combine was J.J. McCarthy. Now, he had great measurements at 6'2", like 214, I believe. He can make that short and intermediate pass probably as good as anyone. Problem is, when it's time to get the ball deep or hit the sidelines, he did not look accurate. He was definitely sailing the ball in those out routes toward the sideline. He's going to need to sit for a year, definitely. He is going to be a great quarterback. I can see he has the poise that you look for in a quarterback. And even though people probably not going to like this, but I do compare him with Tyson Bagent this past year with the Bears. Short, intermediate passes, he's got it. Deep passes, yes and no. Yes and no, Bears fans. He can hit some, but then he's just going to lay some up there for the interceptions in the NFL. Now, we all know college is different, and he looked very good in college, especially up there, winning the national championship with the University of Michigan. But when it comes time to the pros, he's going to have to work on his touch on the deep passes. Now, granted, he can grow into it, without a doubt. He can grow into it. Tom Brady, I'm not comparing him to Tom Brady. Yes, they both played at Michigan, but Tom Brady, start of his career, he was the dink and dunk master. And I see that in J.J. McCarthy. He can dink and dunk it with the best of them. And at Michigan, he had a fantastic run game. So any team getting him, going to have a strong complement of running backs as well as tight ends for those intermediate and short passes. And I think he can do very well. But he's probably going to have to need to sit for a little while and get in a good situation that will allow him to sit back. Maybe like Kansas City. I don't know. We'll see. Will he go out there to the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh? Maybe. Harbaugh has said he likes him, and he probably could get J.J. McCarthy second or third round. We shall see, Bears fans. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I appreciate you sticking around with me. And as always, in parting, peace.